All right. All right. I hope we may be on. Think we may be live. All right. Trying something new, a little bit more streaming software, but this is we're coming live with social workers. I'm sorry, we're coming live with This Week in Supervision. And I try to get this on each week when I get the opportunity. I've been trying to stay consistent. They say you need to stay consistent. But before I get to talking, we're supposed to make this tight here. But the reason we have this is because we are pretty much trying to set up situations for those who come out of our supervisor training. We want them to be able to have ideas for supervision. And so we've got some ideas that we have lined up for you to be able to participate in once you are conducting supervision. Um, and so we also kind of try to give a little shout out to everybody concerning our training, our supervisor training. I'll try to bring that up real quick. And that's our supervisor training. We have the next one on May 22nd and May 23rd. And so you can sign up for that. We actually are doing this every other month, and we offer the PayPal option now, which also involves PayPal credit as well. And we've got lots of good stuff for you. But our next training is on May 22nd and 23rd. Let's move on. Let's move on. Okay. We got something else coming up too. All right. We have a CEU training coming on May 16th, and I'm excited because Faith, I should ask her how to pronounce her last name, but she's going to be presenting our training on this date here on May. There we go. Namshif. They probably didn't do that right. And she'll be presenting our training. And so we want y'all to come out. And she works with individuals who have experienced sexual abuse and sexual violence and things like that. And so she is a part of one of my supervision groups, and she is going to present, and we're so happy for that. For those of you all who are part of Social Workers Alabama, you'll get the promo code, so no worries. And so that's what we got coming up. Well, let's go on and move into what we have for today. We shouldn't be going too long. We're gonna try to keep it brief, but I want to get into what we got for today, and hopefully this will be helpful. All right. So what I did, I always ask questions, and with each group, I have 4 groups, and so each one we end up getting into different things. But I just kind of bring I want to bring you an example of something that we did actually in a group. And so I didn't actually do this one until this group because I was on a podcast last night and some of this information came up, and I thought it would be helpful because on the last supervision, or the last This Week in Supervision that I did, we talked about suicide and borderline personality disorder. I thought it was interesting to put up this question here, but it says 54% of individuals who commit suicide have a diagnosis of A, schizophrenia, B, borderline personality disorder, C, undiagnosed, or D, bipolar disorder. And so I thought this one was interesting because and it did challenge the group, is because we know that the highest percent of individuals who will make the suicide attempts and things of that nature have borderline personality disorder. However, what the Dr. White from the podcast brought up last night, is he was a part of the panel, is that we're sometimes overlooking the other half. Over 54% of individuals who commit suicide, and these are people who actually follow through, or who, I hear new language with the suicide, people who suicide or who unalive themselves. I'll get it together soon. They, many of them are undiagnosed. And that's so important for us to recognize. And what Dr. White was prescribing is that we take general precautions, and we should know that, but I just think sometimes we discount that. We should take general precautions In other words, looking at each case by case. Okay. So that anybody, even if they're not presenting symptoms to us, could possibly be experiencing this. So let's go to this now. I want to just say something real quick because a lot of times I try to show my supervisees different videos, and the goal is to focus in on the individual with the issues. In this situation, I'll be playing a video, and this person, y'all, is not a therapist, so don't use anything that you see that is being demonstrated by her. And I just want to give that disclaimer. But what I want to do is we want to focus in on what happens. And this is the scenario I want to bring up. We often hold prejudice against parents because of the treatment that they have given us, right? And this is the scenario that you want to bring up to the group. We actually did some scenarios. See, I'm already going long already. I thought it was gonna be better. Scenarios to where they can they go out, and I'll go have them go into breakout rooms and discuss them. But so we often hold prejudice against parents because of the treatment that they've given us. But what happens when you have unconscious prejudice, but you exemplify the opposite impulse most of your life? So if you have a client that has had a difference with a parent, they really don't maybe even get along well with the parent, but the things that you see, you might would think that they're really close because they're doing everything for the parent. What perhaps could, how do you approach a client that has these unresolved concerns about their parent that they don't know how to express? And so we talked a little bit about that, but I want you to look at what the thinking can often be with that client. And we're going to see this demonstrated with this woman here who experienced this type of case. So we're going to shoot over to the video here and play it. And I hope that you can hear it. All right. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. This may be a new discovery, folks. Boy, All right, let me stop the share. I hope that volume got over. Um, but as you can see demonstrated there with this woman, she had a lot going on in her mind that needed to be sorted out. And that is the goal, that we want to help our supervisees to understand how to get things out of their clients, right? How to get, these details concerning feelings that they have that they may have not spoken to anybody about. And that's happening so much with clients, is that they come in and they have a lot that we have to bring forth from the unconscious. She said her heartbreak was not having her dad. She heartbreak was that her mom had met a new man, and that she had encouraged this new man to beat her. We're at time, I guess. The mom told the man to beat her. The feelings underneath that she was not aware of, that we have to bring out for the client, is that she actually had hatred towards her mother. And so if you're talking to a client and this comes out, we want to sit in there and get the rest of that out. We want to encourage our supervisees to stay right there to try to find out more about that. And as you can see demonstrated, this particular woman began to express why she hated her mother. And she said, I hate her because she's abandoned. This is trauma. Again, this is a trauma situation, because she's living in my house. So she's not even happy with her living in her house and doing what she didn't do for me. So in other words, she's doing for her what she didn't do for she's doing for her mother what was not done for her, and she's having resentments about that. There's activities for that. Maybe I'll bring that one day, one of the ones I like. And she never told me who my father was. And she says, because she's never this is what she said, because she's never told me who my father was. Look at how this impacted her. She said that she feels incomplete and doesn't know who she is just because she doesn't know her dad. So this presented an identity crisis, and we want to support our clinicians with understanding how to handle that. All right, we don't have I got a lot that I could kind of process on this. And we got to get back. So a lot of times what you want to do, have them go into breakout rooms, but also you can have the supervisees you can give them a few questions that's relevant to the circumstance, the situation. And so in this case, I created a couple questions. And the first one is, which of the following defense mechanisms, and I want you to be thinking about this for yourself. What's the answer? Which of the following defense mechanisms describes the daughter's behavior in reference to caring for her mother? Now, in the test, and I don't have time to process it, but we got to focus on everything this is saying, because it's saying in reference to caring for her mother. A is repression, B is denial, C rationalization, D reaction formation. Okay. What is your answer? What is your answer for these two here? Right? And so just put this here. So I don't have time to go through these because we're already at time. But as you can see, a lot of these it's kind of, you got to really process this one out. Repression, we're taking things and putting it beneath the surface. Our experiences, the traumas, they're beneath the surface. Denial, we're sometimes not even consciously aware. Sometimes I guess we could be consciously aware, but I don't know if we fit in the Freud situation, and we're probably unconsciously aware of that. We're not even seeing things the way that they are necessarily. A lot of times trying to protect ourselves from hurt. We don't recognize what's really going on. Rationalization, we're just trying to make sense of things in a certain type of way. But the answer for this one is actually reaction formation. I call it reaction faking. Okay, so a lot of times we're doing things, and I got a breakdown here for this. Reaction formation is because the daughter is displaying behavior that is opposite of how she truly feels, which she despises her mother. That's light, hates her mother is what she's finding out, in order to protect herself from the uncomfortable or acceptable feelings. So she's doing something that she doesn't really want to do to protect herself from how she really feels. And this is what we're working out and helping our supervisees how to understand what happens in therapy. She may feel that it is not socially acceptable to express her true feelings towards her mother, so she reacts in the opposite way. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we got one more. Got to go through it real fast. Which of the following techniques is commonly used in Gestalt therapy to help clients work through unfinished business and unresolved feelings, as was resembled in the video? Okay, it wasn't no therapy going on in the video, but it mirrored some things that we might actually do in therapy that is therapy. Okay, so which of the following techniques is commonly used in Gestalt therapy to help clients work through unfinished business and unresolved feelings, as was resembled in the video? A, transference. B, free association. C, dream analysis. D, empty chair technique. This one actually should have been easy because all of these are Freudian. Is one way technique to rule things out, but empty chair technique is and what is that? What is the empty chair technique? The answer for this one is D. The technique involves having the client imagine that someone or something, such as the parent, past experience, or part of themselves, is sitting in an empty chair. Of course, it wasn't an empty chair, but was resembling somewhat. It actually, this might actually be another technique, but you get the point. This allows the client to express their feelings and work through unresolved issues in a more direct and concrete way. All right. So we're at time. I hope this is helpful. Just more ideas. I got some stuff, if I could keep it fresh on my mind, that's going to be excellent for next week. And so be prepared for that. Come join us at our training on Tuesday of next week at 5:30 p.m. Join us if you're looking to become a supervisor. And we look to see you at some of these events. And thank you for watching. You all take care. Bye-bye.